ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, is a specialized UN agency which was established to help states to achieve the highest possible degree of uniformity in civil aviation regulations, standards, procedures, and organization. The Convention on International Civil Aviation, drafted in 1944 by 54 nations, was established to promote cooperation and create and preserve friendship and understanding among the nations and people of the world. Known more commonly today as the Chicago Convention, this landmark agreement established the core principles permitting international transport by air and led to the creation of the specialized agency, the International Civil Aviation Organization. Because of the usual delays expected in rectifying the convention, the Chicago Conference precisely signed an interim agreement which foresaw the creation of a provisional ICAO to serve as a temporary advisory and coordinating body. The Chicago Convention has also established principles, structures, and procedures for international civil aviation organization, which have been covered in Part 2 from Articles 43 to 66 of the Convention. The ICAO has been responsible for establishing guidelines and standards for navigation aids, technical rules for landing areas, aircraft certification, licensing of pilots, and other specialized personnel. ICAO is responsible for development of international air law. On 4th April 1947, upon sufficient rectifications to the Chicago Convention, the provisional aspects of ICAO were no longer relevant, and it is officially became known as ICAO. Headquarters of ICAO is at Montreal, Canada. The three main organs of ICAO are the Assembly, the Council, and the Secretariat. Present number of member states, that is Assembly members, are 193. The Council is a permanent body of organization responsible to the Assembly. It is composed of 36 member states elected by the Assembly for a 3-year term. ICAO's Secretariat is headed by a Secretary General who is appointed by the Council. The Secretariat consists of 5 bureaus. The organization structure of ICAO, the three main organs of ICAO are the Assembly, the Council, and the Secretariat. The Assembly, comprised of all member states of ICAO, meets not less than once in 3 years and is convened by Council at a suitable time and place. An extraordinary meeting of Assembly may be held at any time upon the call of the Council or at the request of not less than 1/5 of the total number of member states. All contracted states shall have an equal right, and each contracting state has one vote in the Assembly. The Council is the permanent body of the organization responsible to the Assembly. It is composed of 36 member states elected by the Assembly for a 3-year term. The Council convenes the Assembly. The Secretariat of the International Civil Aviation Organization is headed by a Secretary General. The Secretariat consists of 5 bureaus: the Air Navigation Bureau, the Air Transport Bureau, the Technical Cooperation Bureau, the Legal Affairs and External Relations Bureau, and Bureau of Administrations and Services. 7 regional offices are Bangkok, Cairo, Dakar, Lima, Mexico, Nairobi, and Paris. Objectives of ICAO, a specialized agency of UN which works to achieve its vision of safe, secure, and sustainable development of civil aviation through cooperation amongst its member states. As per Article 44 of International Aviation Convention, the objectives of ICAO are: ensure a safe and orderly growth of international civil aviation throughout the world, encourage the arts of aircraft design and operation for peaceful purposes, encourage the development of airways, airports, and air navigation facilities for international civil aviation, meet the needs of people of the world for safe, regular, efficient, and economical air transport, prevent economic waste caused by unreasonable competition, ensure that rights of contracting states are fully respected and that every contracting state has a fair opportunity to operate international airlines, avoid discrimination between contracting states, promote safety of flights in international air navigation, promote generally the development of all aspects of international civil aeronautics. Pillars of aviation development. Article 28, Air Navigation Facilities and Services, states to provide facilities and services to facilitate international aviation in accordance with convention. Adoption of international standards and procedures as per Article 37, requirements to collaborate in securing the highest practicable degree of uniformity in regulations, standards, procedures, and organization. Article 90, adoption and amendments of annexes. Council shall immediately notify all contracting states of coming force of any annexes or amendments thereto. ICAO standards are binding by member states. A standard is defined as any specification for physical characteristics, configuration, material, performance, personnel or procedure, the uniform application of which is recognized as necessary for the safety or regularity of international air navigation and to which contracting state will conform in accordance with the convention. In the event of impossibility of compliance, notification to the Council is compulsory under Article 38 of the Convention. Recommended practices, which are viewed as merely desirable. Member state need not notify the Council of their intent to comply, although they are so encouraged. A recommended practices is any specification for physical characteristics, configurations, material, performance, personnel or procedure, the uniform application of which is recognized as desirable in interest of safety, regularity or efficiency of international air navigation, and to which contracting state will endeavor to conform in accordance with the convention. States are invited to inform the Council of non-compliance. The standards and recommended practices are incorporated into 19th Annexes. Annex 1, Personal Licensing. Annex 2, Rules of the Year. Annex 3, Meteorological Services for International Air Navigation. Annex 4, Aeronautical Charts. Annex 5, Units of Measurements to be used in air and ground operations. Annex 6, Operation of Aircraft. Annex 7, Aircraft Nationality and Registration Marks. Annex 8, Airworthiness of Aircraft. Annex 9, Facilitation. Annex 10, Aeronautical Telecommunications. Annex 11, Air Traffic Services. Annex 12, Search and Rescue. Annex 13, Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigations. Annex 14, Aerodromes. Annex 15, Aeronautical Information Services. Annex 16 is on environmental protection. Annex 17, security. Annex 18, dangerous goods by air. Annex 19, safety management. Out of this 19 annexes, Annex 2, Annex 5, Annex 7, Annex 8 are international standards only. Rest are standards and recommended practices. ICAO also issues procedures for air navigation services known as PANs and regional supplementary procedures known as SARPs. Still, another form of rulemaking that has been employed by the Council is the technical instructions, which provide detailed explanation of how annexes are to be implemented. Procedures for air navigation services, or simply PANs, comprise operating practices and material too detailed for standards or recommended practices. They often amplify the basic principles in the corresponding standards and recommended practices. To qualify for PAN status, the material should be suitable for application on a worldwide basis. The Council invites contracting states to publish any differences in their aeronautical information publication when knowledge of the differences is important to the safety of air navigation. Regional supplementary procedures have application in the respect of ICAO regions. Although the material in regional supplementary procedure is similar to that in the procedures of air navigation services, but SARPs do not have the worldwide applicability of PANs. Guidance material. ICAO manuals and circulars provide guidance and information to facilitate the uniform application of standards and recommended practices and PANs. It is approved by Secretary General and published under his authority. ICAO strategic objectives: safety, security, and environmental protection and sustainable development of air transport.